I want to have a nice chilled Pesach. So I'm renting a house in Orlando. They told me I could rent a house in Orlando, Champions Gate, big place with our own pool, and it's a lot of money to rent a house, but it's worth it. The deal is made up very clearly. A Tanai condition the following. Ruvain is the guy renting the house out to me. He is going to take care of having the house totally prepared. He will take care of the bedika. He will get rid of all the chametz. He will kasher the kitchen, cover the counters, kasher the oven. And I have a separate guy that's going to be sending the food. He just has to be there. He makes sure all the 9x13s go in the freezer and the fridge. We don't need a caterer. We're not fancy. We just buy it ready-made from wherever it is. And the 9x13s we'll put in the oven ourselves like good hard workers. And we're going to make our own Pesach. But this way it's going to be a nice chilled matzav. We come down. Pesach is going to be Wednesday night, like this year. We come down on Tuesday, and plan is Tuesday afternoon. We'll have a barbecue outside, be able to spend some time in the pool. You could say Dvar Torah if you want to come down. And going to be very nice. We get down there. Beautiful, beautiful house. We're looking around. Bedrooms are unbelievable. All the linens on exactly like they said. The rooms are even bigger than we thought. The pool is a gorgeous pool. The weather is perfect. It's 78 degrees outside. Everything is great. We look at the counters. They're covered. The oven was kashered. The fridge has all the food from the guy that prepared all the food and sent it over. And there's a note, though, on the fridge. Sorry, we did not have time to do the bedika. So if you look in the pantry and you look in a lot of places in the bedrooms, all the chametz might still be around. We made sure to kasher and cover the counters. We took care of that. And we took care of the oven. But you really have to do a bedika. And you have to search the whole house because this is an Airbnb. So lots of times there could be beers any place. There could be crackers any place. You have to go through every room, check the night tables, check the drawers, check under the beds, and everything. And then don't worry about it. Any chametz that you find, you can dispose of. Don't worry about it. It's fine. And you go to the pantry, and you see all over the place. There are open cereals, there are open crackers, and so on and so forth. You start going upstairs to one bedroom. You see a guy left 2 beer bottles outside. Now, I think he probably was from Cleveland. He thought it would be cool. But it's warm, room temperature, beer bottles outside. You see inside, people left wafers and chocolate, crackers, whatever and so on and so forth. And now you realize you're going to have to go through the whole place. You have to vacuum all the rooms. You have to do all of that. As you are feeling terrible, like this is not what we signed up for. It's going to take us a few hours now to clean up this bedika. Somebody calls you up. Obviously, you put it on your status right away. Look at this note we got. And one of your friends WhatsApps you and tells you, you're in Champions Gate. Number 143 has the same exact deal and everything. And actually, it's even a nicer place. He'll give you the same price. He maybe would even give you a little cheaper. Who knows what? We could talk about that. But the guy that was supposed to come there backed out, had an issue, is not coming there for Pesach. He just got notified today that his family is not coming there. So just go down the block to 143. You could go there. And then you don't have to worry. He did a bedika. He did everything. You call up your guy, or I call up my guy. I'm the guy that's going down. So I call up my guy, the guy that owns, we'll call it 151. And I say, this is a chutzpah. You didn't even tell me about this bedika. And we're looking all over this chametz all over the place over here. You have 7 bedrooms here, And then I have to check the family room, the game room, the movie room, all these different rooms. It's an avodah gedolah. That's not what we were planning on doing. I'm sorry. That was not the deal. Oh, well, I'm sorry, we just had to run out. We were on our way to Cancun. We just couldn't stay because, of course, the guy in Florida doesn't go to Florida for Pesach. So we're on our way to Cancun. Sorry, we were not able to stay there. We just weren't able to do that. Don't worry about it. Hey, we said you could throw whatever you find, throw it out. Don't worry about it. Throw it out. Thank you very much. How much are you taking off? Oh, I'm not taking anything off. And then he throws in the kicker. He says, listen, you could get the mitzvah. So now you are the dayanim. Do you paskin in my favor or his favor? And I'm not giving you two options. Am I allowed to back out? He says, you can't back out. He says, what are you talking about back out? I say, you have to at least come down. And then I tell him even more. I tell him, by the way, there's no way we're doing this. My wife doesn't clean. That's not one of her things. And this is not if you get back to my wife about that. We go down to Florida for a reason. And we made it very clear, we made a condition in there that you had to clean. Now, if you tell me that you're charging me $12,000 for this house for Pesach, and now you're going to come down, you'll come down to $8,000, fine. Then, maybe we have what to talk. You said you're not going down a penny.
This is a Choshen Mishnah channel, not a Pesach. It's both.
I'm coming to the Adam. I don't know anything. I just want to be in Orlando, in the pool. So this is, we're going to get to it. We'll get to it. So here's the Shaila. So you come there and they say, sorry, we're not taking anything off the price. Say, okay, you don't want to take off the price, then I'm out of here. Where are you going to go? I'm going to 143. Oh, there's a guy with another place? You have no right to go. You have no right to go. What do you mean? It's a beautiful place. Everything is as good. Was the house as nice as we described it? It was even nicer. The pool, nicer. But you didn't do Badika. And now we're going to have to hire a crew. And for us to get a crew to do Badika here, first of all, it's a pain in the neck. I don't know if we'll be able to get somebody. But even if we could get somebody, it's going to cost us at least $600. You're not even willing to pay the $600. That's chutzpah. So can I back out on it and say mekach tais? Like Rabbi Meisel said, you said it's a house with a pool. It's not, there's no pool. It's a house that you did Badika. You didn't do Badika. It was clearly stipulated in the contract that you're going to do Badika. So can I back out or not? I just want the psak from the other one. What? Yes. 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 Okay. Now let's learn some Hilchos Pesach. We're not going to open a Choshen Mishpat today. I want to learn some Hilchos Pesach. Hilchos Pesach, Siman Tov Lamed Zayin, Seif Gimel. Hamaskir Bayis L'Chaveroi. Somebody rents out his house to his friend. Mamish Mechaber has exactly this case. He doesn't quote Champion's Gate, but aside from that, he Mamish has this case. Hamaskir Bayis L'Chaveroi. He rents out his house to his friend. Becheskas Podok. On the assumption that it is already that it had Bedika. And the Magen Avram adds, what's the Chiddush over here? He says over here we're talking about Afilu Hisna. We're talking about that he made a condition. He stipulated clearly that it was going to be Baduk. V'nimtza she'ena Baduk. And he finds, lo and behold, it is not Baduk. Al Hasecha Livdek, the renter, I have to go ahead and do Bedika. Ve'ena Mekach Tois. And it's not a mekach tais. And then the Mechaber adds, Va'afilu b'mokum shabaytkim b'schar, even in a place where they charge to do bedika, and it's normal. Nobody cleans themselves. Everybody hires a crew to take care of the cleaning. Still, it's not a mekach tais. Shahari mitzvah oisa. Exactly what that guy that owned 151 told me. He said, what do you mean? I'm giving you a chance to do a mitzvah. Hagav yeshemrim ditzarch lahachzer le'schar b'dika. And the Ramah says that some say you do have a right to recoup that $600. That I can say to him, you got to pay me the $600. Mishnah Berurah ends up saying it depends who has the $600. If I already gave it to him, he has a right to say, Kimli ka machaber, I hold like the machaber. You can't force me to pay it. If I have not yet paid that $600, he won't be able to get it from me because I can say, I hold like the Ramah, I'm not paying the $600. But clearly, Magen Avraham says, even though it was stipulated, even though it was understood, and he didn't do it, he has a right to say, I gave you a mitzvah. Now, all of us were outraged at this machaber right now. That's not fair. Come on. I stipulated. I said very clearly I want a Budok house. That was the deal. There was a pool room, there was a house that's already checked. And you didn't come through. And especially the Machaber says, I can't even ask him for the $600. What's pshat? So now I'm going to give you a different story. And tell me what you think about this story. Family the wife, the father, the grandfather of the family, father was having some type of issue. Some body part was hurting him. He goes to the doctor, and this is right before Yom Kippur. Right before Yom Kippur, he goes to the doctor. Doctor says, I'm really concerned over here. You know, you have to go to a specialist. It's Erev Yom Kippur. I have to get you into a specialist quickly. You know what? The day after Yom Kippur, the next day, I'm setting you up. I'm getting you into a specialist. He gets to the specialist. He's enjoying it. You know, my shiur Rabbi Fine told me that one time they were going to a chasana from Scranton to New York, and there was a bus going, and somebody was giving him a ride, and one of the balabatim said, "You're not coming on the bus?" And he was all flattered. He was like, "You want me to come on the bus?" He said, "Yeah, I was hoping you would get up and give a drasha so I could sleep well on the way." So, Baruch Hashem. So this person comes along, and the day after Yom Kippur, he goes to the doctor. And unfortunately, the specialist takes a look at him, says, I have to send you right now for an MRI. He sends him for an MRI, and unfortunately, everything confirms the worst. And he says, this is very, very serious. You have no time to play with. We have to get you in for surgery immediately. Be'ezus Hashem, if the surgery is successful, gevaldik. But this is a life-threatening issue. This is mamish na pashut. He calls him back 2 hours later. He says, I got you into the biggest expert in the Mayo Clinic. And I want you to go to the Mayo Clinic and it's going to be the first day of Sukkot is going to be the surgery. That's the earliest he can get you in. I would get you there tomorrow if possible. He doesn't have any availability tomorrow. First day Sukkot. Avada, there's no shaila. You have to go. His son takes him there. And his son is traveling. His son is trying to think where is he going to stay. The Bikur Cholim from Minneapolis is further removed. They really do help unbelievably. They're meeting him there, whatever. Somebody checks out if there's any Airbnb, and lo and behold, there's a townhouse. Mamish 2 blocks away from the hospital is available to be rented for 3 days. From Erev Yom Tif till the day after Yom Tif. Gevaldik, unbelievable. Comes to the house, and they made up in the house that there was going to be 2 bedrooms, no use of the kitchen. That was the big letdown. The kitchen is off limits, it's locked or whatever it is. No use of the kitchen. Okay, fine. He figures he's not using the kitchen anyway. It's a treifa kitchen. He's getting from Bikur Cholim, Minneapolis, whatever food it is, as he's in Rochester, Minnesota, in the Mayo Clinic. He calls his Rav. He says, what does he do, Lamaisa? He's not going to have a sukkah there in Mayo Clinic. There's no sukkah there. His Rav says, what do you mean? You're going with the Chayla Sheyesh Pesach. They're able to do the surgery on Sukkot. It's not a Shaila even. You go with him, you eat with him. Stamazai. You don't even need the dichui of a Chayla Sheyesh Pesach. Just Chayla Mu Misham Shem B'Turim Min HaSukkah. It's a Mishnah. A Chayla and those serving the Chaylim are pater from Sukkah. So you're pater from Sukkah. Don't worry about it. You're okay. Okay, Gevaldik, he gets there Erev Sukkot. His father has to be put into the hospital already, admitted to the hospital on Erev Yom Kippur. They're going to do some pre-op and whatever it is. He's there already, Erev Sukkot. And then it's already 4 o'clock in the afternoon. He goes to his Airbnb 2 blocks away, this townhouse that he rented. Goes into the townhouse and he notices that there's a mezuzah on the door. And then he realizes what's going on over here. This is a frum guy's house. And he locks the kitchen when he rents out his house because he doesn't want to trade for the kitchen. There's a number. He calls the guy. He says, am I right? I see you have a mezuzah. Is that what's going on? He says, this is a frum guy? What's going on? He tells him his whole story. Baruch Hashem, you wouldn't believe it. I have a sukkah on the deck in the back. Go use my sukkah. I'm coming back on Chol HaMoed. I have a sukkah there. I'm a doctor in Mayo Clinic. I rented out for Airbnb to recover my costs. But Matayv Manoyim, please use the sukkah in the back. If you need to use the kitchen, here's the combination. You could use my kitchen. I didn't know that it's a frum guy. Matayv Manoyim. And now he's very upset because he was planning on being able to eat wherever he wanted to. He was able to eat in the Bikur Chaylim room. He was able to eat in the living room, wherever he wanted to. And now he has to eat in the sukkah's night. What do you say? Can he tell the guy, you messed me up? I was renting an Airbnb, and you didn't say that you had a sukkah. And now you do have a sukkah, and you messed up my Yom Tif. What do you say? Can he back out? And you're all looking at me like I'm crazy.
Is that a Milo?
Like, that's a Milo. This is a Pesach Krohn story. This is great.
He wants to back out and say, I don't want to rent this house.
Yeah.
It's a Milo that he has to be in a sukkah by him. I said, no, I know it's bad. But
So I would think that it's Pashit. This is Gevaldik. What do you mean? You get to be in a sukkah. He was so sad and so upset that he knew he had to do it and it's the right thing to do. But he wishes that he could have a sukkah. It was the first time in 40 years that he was not going to be sitting in a sukkah on the night of Sukkot. Now, Baruch Hashem HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they've punked the place that he rented out is a place with a sukkah. Unbelievable story. What's the difference between the two stories? And this is the critical difference that we have, I think, between understanding B'dikas Chametz and cleaning for Pesach versus sitting in a sukkah. Sitting in a sukkah, no matter what level we're on, whether we're in the mood of it or not, we know that it's a mitzvah, it's a geschmack mitzvah. We sit in the sukkah, the Heilige Ushpizim come in. And we sit in the sukkah, especially if the weather's decent. You feel mamish as a geschmack, Baruch Hashem, we're doing a mitzvah. It's a mitzvah that we bring our whole guf into. It's the only mitzvah where you're eating is in the middle of a mitzvah. It's unbelievable. Even machilas matzah on Leil Pesach is gevaldik, but you're not submerged in a mitzvah. How do we look at B'dikas Chametz? B'dikas Chametz, I wish I wouldn't have any chametz. If I didn't have any chametz, that would be the best thing in the world. Those people that eat gluten-free, the one time I'm jealous of them is the day before Pesach. If I didn't have any chametz, it would be a great life. And the sinitazay, that's not the way to look at it. We have to look at it. We have a gevaldige mitzvah, tashbisu, sa'or mi boteichem. We have an opportunity to get rid of the chametz. Just like there's a mitzvah of shofar, there's a mitzvah of matzah, there's a mitzvah of lulav, there's a mitzvah of sukkah, there's a mitzvah of tashbisu, sa'or mi boteichem. We have the opportunity to get rid of chametz. I know Minchas Chinuch has a chakira about it, but this is the Pashup Pshat. The Pashup Pshat is that there's a gevaldige mitzvah to get rid of chametz, and it's an opportunity. And that's Pshat in the Shulchan Aruch. Zok the Shulchan Aruch, you went to Champion's Gate. You thought you weren't going to be able to do it. Hashem gave you the opportunity. You have a mitzvah. If you had a sukkah there, you would have been thrilled. So now I'm giving you the opportunity. There's chametz there. You can get rid of it. You can do b'dikas chametz. You're very lucky. Yes?
Would you want to buy my mitzvah of cleaning chametz in my house?
How much are you selling it for?
I don't know. $100.
$100?
Yeah.
$100,000? What?
$100.
$100? 1 second. So I would be buying, it's not my house. How are we doing this? What are you selling to me?
The mitzvah of cleaning up the house.
I don't have mitzvah to clean up your house. Okay, well, we have to work out the legalities over here. And I'm not a guy, so it's not going to be pretty. Okay. But we have to have a different perspective when we come to Pesach. The perspective towards Pesach, and I'm talking myself, I have to work on it. All of us, that it's an opportunity to get rid of chametz. It's a mitzvah like all other mitzvahs. I like the mitzvah of tefillin, I like the mitzvah of lulav, I like the mitzvah of sukkah, I like the mitzvah of matzah. Enjoy the mitzvah of getting rid of chametz. Just one last thing. What time is it? Uh-oh. We'll try to do it. Yeah, we have to be done 12? 12:10? Okay. Hishet tzivonu l'saper b'tzias Mitzrayim below chamisha asam nisim b'tchilas halayla. The Rambam in Sefer HaMitzvah says that we have the mitzvah of Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim on the 15th of Nisan, b'tchilas halayla, the beginning of the night. Kefi tzachus loshen hamasaper. As well as one can articulate the Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim. V'chol mi sheyosef b'maimer v'yarech hadvarim, and anybody that expounds upon it and lengthens the story and gets into the details. Masha Osalonu Hashem, what Hashem did to us. Umasha Osalonu HaMitzrim, and what the Mitzrim were doing to us. Ma'ol v'chamas, how terrible they were to us. Ve'ichlokach Hashem nikmaseinu mehem, and how HaKadosh Baruch Hu took revenge on them and saved us from them. U'lahoidos lo yisal al kol ha'tov, and to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for all that good that He did for us then, Shigam Alanu, and that He has done for us throughout. That will be greater. The Rambam here, and the Ritva speaks about this as well, but the Rambam clearly is telling us, Matisyo Solomon would always speak about this, that a chelik of Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim is lahoidah yisrael lahalo. It's not that there's a separate mitzvah of hoidah and halo. Part of the mitzvah of Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim, mitzvah Kuf Nun Zayin in the Rambam, is to recount the story and to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So I just want to share with you a story that will hopefully drive it home. There was a gewaldige story. This is a Pesach Korban Ma'aseh, but this is a gewaldige story. There was a Dr. Leibowitz who currently practices in Lakewood, well known, Dr. Leibowitz in Lakewood. He runs the 5th floor in Kimball. Dr. Leibowitz was a doctor in Boston. And one time there was, what is it called? A code blue? Code blue, right? There was a code blue in the hospital. Code blue in the hospital, there's the code blue team. There are certain doctors that belong to the resuscitation team, basically. Code blue means somebody had a heart attack, somebody's heart is out, and they didn't sign a DNR, so they're going to resuscitate them. And all the doctors that have anything to do with that, have the ability to do with it, and part of that team, they rush to the scene. So suddenly, I've been in hospitals when you hear it sometimes. Code blue M13 or whatever it is. So over here, code blue cafeteria. And suddenly, you see doctors coming from different parts of this hospital in Boston. I think it was Mass General, I'm not sure. And Dr. Leibowitz is on the team, and he gets there. And when he gets there, they tell him, we're not getting anything. He said, no, we got to try again. And he tries again. Guy is dead as a doorknob. The lady is dead as a doorknob. Not negea. Try again, and trying for another 20 minutes. And everybody says, this is already torture. This is not right to them. You've been through this, right? That any Rav, unfortunately, knows you have to be morally caring and let the person die and whatever. And it's not right what you're doing. And he tells them, let's try one more time. We're going to try it one more time. And they try one more time, and suddenly there's a bleep. And then they try more and more, and they're Baruch Hashem able to save this lady's life. They saved the lady's life, and she's sent to ICU. And apparently she had some type of heart attack or whatever. She was not a patient before that. She was okay before that. She had a terrible heart attack, but they saved her life. He left a message with the ICU. When she's awake and when she's okay, he didn't know if it would be days or what it would be. When she's up to it, please tell me, I would want to come by. And he was thinking, I wear yarmulke, Dr. Leibowitz, and this is Mrs. McCormick, so probably not so Jewish. Let me reach out there and just show her that a Yid saved her life. Sure enough, maybe 8 hours later, he gets paged by the ICU. Mrs. McCormick is awake and sitting up in bed. She's made a lot of improvement. Says, okay. He goes up to the room. As he's about to enter the room, suddenly the husband that was there the whole time in the cafeteria, the husband looks and says, there he is, that's the guy. Linda, that's who I was telling you about. That's him. That's the doctor that saved your life. He walks into the room, and Linda McCormick says to Dr. Leibowitz, Dr. Leibowitz, what should I tell you? Thank you? Thank you I reserve for somebody that holds a door open for me. I say thank you. I'm going to say thank you to you. You saved my life. My husband told me exactly what happened. Everybody gave up. Everybody wanted to let me dead. You were the only one that took interest and kept on fighting them and kept on trying. I owe you my life. So I'm just going to say thank you, Dr. Leibowitz. What do I do? But I thought about it. Just the last hour or so when we were talking about it, seemed like, what would I do? I'm not just going to say thank you. I'll tell you thank you now. But hopefully, tomorrow or the next day, when I'm able to get out of bed and to walk, I'll say, thank you, Dr. Leibowitz. Now I can finally walk. And whenever it is, in a week or 2 weeks, when I'm well enough to get out of the hospital, and I'm walking out of this hospital, I will say, thank you, Dr. Leibowitz, as I leave the hospital. And in 2 months from now, I'm having my 80th birthday. And when my kids who are supposed to be coming, and my grandkids come, and they make me a big birthday party, I will get up and say, thank you, Dr. Leibowitz, for saving my life. And that's why I'm here today. And every time I take a walk with my husband, and every day that I live, I will be thinking, thank you, Dr. Leibowitz, for giving me today. He said he walked out of the room and realized, how much do we have to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu? How much do we have to say, not just Yeah, I was Yetz, I said Halal in the Haggadah and done. How much do we have to say, especially if I ever went through a tough time and I could have been in the gutter? Who knows what could have happened? Thank you, Hashem, for sticking by my side. Thank you, Hashem, for not giving up on me. I know that there were times that everybody gave up on me already. And they thought that it's over. He's done. Charlop's done. And you didn't give up on me. You're the only one that stood by my side. Thank you, Hashem, for standing by my side. And to have a thank you when you do a Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim, that's a meaningful thank you. That's a continuous thank you. A thank you that every day we wake up and we say, Moida ani lefanecha, not just because I learned it as a nursery rhyme to say Moida, but to say, thank you, Hashem, for getting me up again today. There are people that wake up one day, don't wake up the next. Thank you, Hashem, for helping me. That, Baruch Hashem, I'm finding myself. Thank you, Hashem, for the Rabbeim that you give, the parents that you give. And sometimes the parents are very difficult, but thank you for giving me the strength to deal with these parents. And to say thank you as we live and breathe and go through life. Emir Hashem, have the geschmack of getting rid of all the chametz. And then appreciate in Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim not just retelling the story, but reminding ourselves of the lesson of Linda McCormick and Dr. Leibowitz. Thank you, Hashem, for letting me live.